Yeah, that real music. Every time, I gotta give it to him. Look, pay close attention.
What's up, y'all? It's Romeo. I'm in Uptown Whittier, the roots, where I came up. No better place to be, so y'all can get deep, really understand a couple things. If y'all had any questions, you about to get those answers.
There it is. All right, D. Romeo, first and foremost, man, I appreciate you, bro, giving me the opportunity to interview you.
Yeah.
Means a lot, bro, but let's go ahead and let's give the audience what they want, man.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your upbringing. How was it more so in your childhood?
My childhood, man, it was fast. I had to grow up quick. I mean, that's the first answer that comes to my mind, you know. My mom, she did the most for me. She was around, but Pops was gone, probably like 8 years old, went to the feds. He's been there ever since. I'm 26 now, so I'm sure you could tell how long that's been. He's been a goner since, but yeah, I was just out in the streets trying to figure it out. You know, my mom did the most, but foster care came involved. I was a foster kid and just trying to, you know, get it while I can. I was out moving with the homies and stuff like that, in and out of schools, and yeah, just typical struggle. You know, I know a lot of people could relate to that in different ways, but, and yeah, just no guidance, you know.
Let's take it back just a little bit. If you could go ahead and explain your parents, how were they? Your moms and pops?
Man, it's hard to remember with my dad. Like, I hear a lot about how he was these days when I ask questions and stuff, but like, I didn't really know him like that, you know? He left when I was 8, so I have like real small memories with him, but I mean, he was good from what I know. I don't have any bad type of feelings or emotions towards him. You know, it sucks that he's gone, but I mean, with my mom, doing the most she could for me. I know it was hard being a single mom. I got me, I got 4 other sisters, and I know it was tough for her, you know, being a single mother, trying to figure it out and not really having much of an income. So I just know that she did well, man. Like, real talk, she did the most. Like, it's almost like I didn't know or really didn't understand she was struggling. That's how much she tried to do for us. But I mean, my mom did everything she could. She had to play both roles, and I know it was tough for her because, you know, I grew up I was a bad kid growing up, you know.
Growing up without your father, who would you say is somebody that you looked at as a father figure?
My uncle, shout out to KAS. He's also an artist too, man. I looked up to my uncle a lot, and what's crazy is my uncle kind of passes it down to me and tells me that when he was coming up, that my dad was kind of looking out for him. So it's almost like it passed down for me, you know, and he tells me a lot of stories and all that stuff. But yeah, I love my uncle like he's my father, you know, and there's not really many men in our family, so it's kind of like it's all we got is each other, you know.
So you're 8 years old when your dad leaves.
Yeah.
At 8 years old, you're in elementary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about how were you as a kid in elementary? How hard did that affect you?
Man, it was bad. I'll keep it real with you. My mom says that when she first put me in school, it goes even further back, like first grade, second grade. I guess, you know, I was with my father for a while. I mean, you know, while he was doing his personal things in life and all that, and I don't know if I picked up certain things. I must have watched too many movies or something, but she put me in school, and they had to take me out of school and tell me to give it some time before they bring me back, because I guess I was acting the way I shouldn't act at that age, as far as like my mentality and all that. But I mean, school at a young age, it was tough, man. I was missing a lot, you know. I was missing a lot of school. I was kind of like pulling little stunts and stuff. I'll make my mom think that I was going to school in the morning, wait till she went back to sleep, and I'll go hide in the closet or something, or go to another homie's pad and hang out at a young age. And she'll get calls from school saying that I was absent, you know, trying to finesse my way. But I mean, it was, you know, up and down though, bro, because when I was in school, the teachers liked me. They said I was respectful. They said I was intelligent, but my mind wasn't there, you know, and school at a young age was a lot of absence, bro. Bouncing around too. I was going to school in East LA, of course, my hometown Whittier, Ontario. I went to school different places, bro. Wherever I was, we kind of moved around a lot, but for the most part, my roots and everything always came back to my city, you know. But I mean, yeah, from just thinking about it, I was absent a lot, bro. I was absent a lot.
So I feel like, in a sense, you know, during elementary, we're all innocent. You know, mentality is still pure.
Yeah.
But I feel like in middle school is kind of where you actually get, I guess, you know, your persona.
Yeah.
How were you like in middle school?
Man, middle school is where it all started. Where I started, yeah. My character started showing more, my identity. Well, I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I was grown up. you know, especially with the cars I was dealt with and the lifestyle that I was starting to live, and just more trouble, man. It started getting worse, more trouble. I was fighting a lot, more violence, you know, learning new things. You start feeling like you're grown more as it is, you know, so just more trouble, man. I was fighting a whole lot in middle school. That's what I do remember. Just always in trouble, but trying to do right. At that time, too, I was in foster care, so it was just, I was angry. You know, I was angry, bro. Like, foster care really messed up my whole mental, and I just felt like I didn't have no guidance, and I would see other people happy, and other people felt like their life was normal and mine wasn't. So I was just like an angry kid, angry teenager, just kind of hanging around with people who could relate to me and had the same type of circumstances, you know. But I mean, yeah, it started right there, middle school. But after middle school, it kind of went quick, man. You know, life got me fast, bro.
So I feel like foster care, I feel like that's something that's major. That's something that's big. That just say there's kids out there right now dealing with what you went through.
Yeah.
What's some advice that you could give them?
Man, don't let it define you. You know, the struggle and the pain and everything that you go through, it builds character. So there is positive in it, but don't let it really adjust what your life is gonna be. You know, at that time I thought like, damn, my life is done. Like I thought, oh, because of these are my circumstances, I can't be who I want to be, or I can't achieve certain things. Like, just know that it's temporary. It's when you're young still, you know. It's not when you're an adult. Like, stuff comes to an end eventually. They're not really there to ruin your life, really, but at the time it feels like they're there to ruin your life, bro, because you get ripped away from the people that you love, you know. And the system is just a way that it messes up your mental, man. But if I had any advice to the kids, stay strong. It's not your fault, you know. It's not your fault. That's definite. You were dealt with those cards, and you didn't ask for that. You know, it's out of your control. So make sure that when you do start maturing and you do start getting to an older age, that you turn those tables and you prove to the system, you know, what you could do. Just change the cycle, man. You know, that's what I'm doing now. Like, I think back on those days still, and I'm like, man, I remember I even hated myself, you know, and I was angry with everything. But I mean, when it's all said and done, you know, you pull a lot of positives from things, and it defines, like, it builds character, you know. But for the young ones, man, like, yeah, if they're in that position or they've been in that position, like, they know what it feels like. But just change the cycle, man, because one day you're gonna get older and you're gonna have a family, you're gonna have, you know, children or whatever it is you got going on as you become an adult, and you want to make sure that that doesn't get passed down. It doesn't become a repetitive thing, you know. Like, just change that, you know. Let it have been a reason for you, so that you can make it a better way to change in the past, you know, like what's going on, like the cycle, you know.
So if you're already fighting in middle school, I could just imagine, you know, what you were in high school. But give us a brief summary of those years, man. How was that like?
It was like a problem, bro. I don't know. Like, I was cool, man. I got along with people, but for some reason, like, I also had this little problem where a lot of things, like, I was quick to snap. You know, I was quick to snap, and everything bothered me. And you know, as a boy or a man or just a male in general, we deal with our ego. So, like, my ego was always affecting me. I always felt like I had something to prove, and I didn't even like someone looking at me a certain way, you know, or my own homie could step on my shoes, bro, and I'm tripping. Like, I just had a very bad anger problem. So, like, when high school came along, then I thought I had it figured out in middle school. When high school came, I definitely thought I was grown, you know. So I was running those fades like if I was eating dinner every night, you know. And it was just one of those things. It became like a sickness, man. You try to shake it, but I mean, that comes with trying to mature, you know, and going through certain things. But I mean, yeah, high school, it was bad, man, because you get older, man, and then you got people that, you know, people that are older, they're not gonna let you just, you know, everyone's dealing with the ego more as it goes, you know. Some younger, but as you get older, the ego comes to play more, you know.
If you could go ahead and describe what the style was like during those years, you know, just to go ahead and give us a clue. Yeah. Like, what was some songs that were on the radio? What was the style like? You know, talk to us about D. Romeo in high school.
Yeah, man, high school, we were going through that man, I remember the swag era. Like, it was the jerking, the cargo shorts. It was the snapbacks. People would wear them a certain way. I had my embarrassing times, man. I was trying to match colors a certain way that weren't working, but I was hit or miss though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. One day I looked like I was extra banged out, baggy, and one day I looked like I was a pretty boy, you know. So, but that era was definitely like the pretty boy, like you know, the crispy pants, the button-up polo shirts, you know, clean fade, diamond earrings, and then you still had that old school feel too. But I mean, the music too was like, you know, I'll never forget all that. You know, just same thing when YG was coming up, all that stuff. He was doing it a little before too, but that era was all that, man. The good R&B too, like it still was being relevant, even though it was from back then.
What was Tell me a story you have, you know, in your tagging days. What's something that stands out right off the bat, a memory?
A memory right off the bat, man. Let me think. I remember when I was tagging, I went by a name called Brinks, you know, like the armored trucks, and I was living in Ontario at this time. I was young, and me and my homies, we were tagging, and I was tagging on like a fence. It was like a wood fence of somebody's house, but I thought it was connected to the street, bro. And the whole time that I was tagging on it, I didn't know that the owner of the pad was watching me tag on it. You know, they were like at the corner or whatever. And the whole time they were on the phone with the one times the police. Come to find out now, though, you know. So it only made sense that they had to be on the phone with the cops because they all swooped up on us. And I'll never forget that, bro. That was probably one of the craziest times that me and my homies went on a cool little chase, trying to jump fences and stuff. And that was when I was young, bro. I was young, like. I was still probably like 12, 13, so I was like, damn, like, I was all scared, I'm not gonna lie, like, they're gonna get me right now, I'm gonna go to jail, but I know they went back, of course, and looked at what I was putting, and they seen my name, so it was kind of dumb of me, bro, because I kept hitting up my name everywhere, and I know that's when I started learning, like, homies were getting caught for, like, vandalism and stuff, for them eating up their last taggings, you know, but that's really it, bro, nothing major as far as tagging. Of course, you know, memories from tagging, like, stories is just, you know, getting your name up and, you know, having your little tagging enemies and running fades and crossing each other out and all that, trying to see who could get up the most and just stuff like that, bro. A little adrenaline, you know.
Did you have a lot of trouble with the law growing up?
Nah, honestly, bro, if I gotta keep it real, I didn't, man. I didn't. I can't lie, bro. I didn't. Like, I was doing a lot. I was in the streets a lot. But, I mean, you could say, bro, I was fortunate. Like, I didn't really get caught a lot. I never really got arrested like that, bro. You know, they stopped me here and there, you know. Like, there were certain things that they had got me, but it was just like a let me go type of thing, bro. I never went to jail, bro, like, until I caught my case, man, you know. But before then, nah, I wasn't even in trouble with the law a lot. But in school, they would come a lot, you know. They would have the cops come, and they would, like, talk to me, or I'd get in a fight, and the parents would say that they wanted to press charges against me because the person was hurt, and like cops would come, little petty stuff, bro. But like, I never did no time like that, bro. You know, I wasn't in trouble. I had interactions with the cops a lot, but I would get lucky, bro. I gotta be real, you know.
So, you go to jail, right? You catch the case.
Yeah.
You know what? I just feel like a lot of people, at least to my understanding, they tend to think about that day that led up to them going to jail.
Yeah.
How often was that crossing your mind during your time?
Man, that's a good question, man. It's good that you even brought that up, because even to this day, I've been out, you know, few years later, and it still plays in my head, bro. You know, the way everything went. But when I was on the inside, it eats you up, you know, it makes you sick, because you're trying to think of like what you could have done different. If it was worth it, obviously it's not worth it, you know, because I went away and I was doing a good amount of time over it. So it plays in your head over and over. Every little detail, you know, you remember a lot of things. You even remember how the day was as far as the weather and how everything felt, especially when you're locked up, bro, because the weirdest things go through your mind then, you know. But yeah, you play it all back, man, and of course you're gonna regret it, you know. Like, you're gonna regret it, man, because you're doing time now. You got caught for it, you know. So definitely, I think about it a lot when I was on the inside. I thought about it a lot. I still dwell on it to this day. It hits me here and there, you know, because I lost years, and it affected me, you know. It really did. I trip out on that.
How many years did you lose?
I did 4 years in prison over that. Good years too. I lost good years. You know, it wasn't just I know 4 years is 4 years, but I lost my good years, man. I was in there while I was 18, while I was 19, while I was 20, while I was 21, and then I came home right when I was turning 22.
If you could tell me a valuable lesson you learned being locked up, what would you say?
Man, a valuable lesson I learned, really take your choices seriously, man. Like, every choice really does matter. It really does. And value your freedom. I know that sounds corny, but it's really true. Like, value your freedom. And at any moment, life can change, you know, at any moment. So I mean, one thing that I really learned and that I really get from that time is like it really separates, you know, from freedom to being locked in a cage like an animal. Like it really separates your perspective on life. So when you go through those type of things, like it really opens up your mind to different things out here when you're free, you know. And like advice I give to myself now that I'm free is I still remember how I felt when I was on the inside, to think like all I want to do is be free and really cherish my life. Like I still remember that feeling on the inside. So now that I'm free, I never take it for granted no more, you know. Like I'm out here really thinking about all my choices and how good freedom is, you know. And yeah, it goes deep, man. That's really what I got from it.
And I hate to talk about the what ifs, right? But let's just say Pops was in the picture from day one.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe the story would have been written a little bit different?
Man, yeah, it could have, you know, it could have because that's my guidance, you know. And if you look at a lot of people that go through what I went through, or, you know, kind of similar lifestyles, a lot of us lacked two parents in our life, you know. And the most important one is the father, especially for a man, a girl too, of course, but for a boy, it's like you're looking up to that, you know, and what you're looking up to, what the guidance is based off of what you're gonna be, you know, what you learn. You know, you watch the movie like 10 times over and over, you're kind of gonna take after that movie. It affects you a certain way, you know. And when you don't got that, like, that's what it was for me. And for people who grew up like that, you know, a lot of us, I mean, there's people out here still who I know that I've known of who have both their parents who kind of have similar lifestyles still, but it got a lot to do with not having a father, you know. So if my father was around, or let's say he was around, but for the right reasons, I think it would change a lot, you know. I think it would. It would change a lot, man. It really would. Definitely.
Now that you're a father yourself, how do you feel, man? Talk to me about now that you're a father. Like,
Yeah.
what's your perspective on that?
Man, to give them the life that they deserve, of course, and the life that I didn't really have growing up, you know, learning from my own lessons. And it gets tough, you know. Not everyone's perfect, you know. We're still working on ourselves as men. No matter how much you get older, you're still working on yourself, you know. But I think for me, the biggest thing is just giving them that life so that when they grow up, they can say that, you know, like almost like a thank you, you know, like building that structure for them as they get older, so the cycle doesn't repeat. I got a son and I got a daughter, so I got both sides, you know. So it's like definitely what I would want a woman to want, you know, what I would want her to have for a man, you know, when she gets older. And then also my son, man, not taking after what was going on in my life, you know, because that would kill me, that would hurt me. The same way I'm sure my dad is hurting, even though he's in the feds right now, you know. He wouldn't want that for his son. So for me, it's just getting them ready for life, you know, so when they leave the nest, they can take on life and really, you know, conquer, like do good things, have pride, you know, and the bloodline, and just break that cycle, bro. That's it, you know. Just be the best man you can, and it'll pay off, you know. Being a father, being there alone, just being there alone it's a lot, you know. It's a lot. So that's really my advice to myself, you know.
So now, one thing I want to talk about, let's talk about your ethnicity, bro. I mean, obviously, we in California.
Yeah.
99.9% of the people Mexican, of course, but you know, when it comes to D. Romeo, to everybody, you know what ethnicity you are, man.
I'm actually Argentinian. I got Mexican in my blood, but my dad was born in Argentina. And I'm not even good with Spanish like I should be, but if I'm saying it right like I should, it's Buenos Aires. That's where it is, like the capital of Argentina. And my dad was born there. You know, my family, I got family over there still. And yeah, man, you can tell by my nose. I always tell people, you know, if you look at Argentinians a lot, you know, some of them are blessed and they're fortunate and they don't really got the flaws that we get. But yeah, I got that in my blood, majority of it too, man. And then, yeah, it's a trip. It's different, you know. I look at the history of it, and I really educated myself on the country too, man. Only thing I didn't pick up is the Spanish like I should, you know.
When did music catch your attention?
Man, I would say when I was going through all that stuff, you know, foster care. At the time, I was on the run. Actually, I was like 15, I think it was. It had to be 15. I was on the run, and I was just inside a lot, bro. I was inside a lot. Like, I didn't want to come out. I was paranoid, thinking I was gonna get caught, and I was living in a garage. Actually, my mom was renting like a garage and stuff, and we were kind of just making it happen together. And yeah, I wasn't even supposed to be around my mom because of foster care too. So I was just hiding all the way around, you know. But at the time, bro, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't going to school. I wasn't really outside like that. Like I would choose my spots I was at. I was very secluded, and I had a lot of time, and I fell in love with music, you know. Like I was writing a lot. I was just rapping over beats to myself, recording them over the phone, no quality to it, just trying to show my bars, putting them out on SoundCloud, and I would say around 15, yeah, 15. I just fell in love with it, but I didn't put it out there like how I do now, you know. I didn't really like, oh, I'm a rapper. I just was putting it out there just for people to hear what I could do, just kind of passing the time. But when I took it serious is when I came home from prison. That's when I finally started like, oh, I want to do studio sessions, you know. I want to actually do it the right way, the quality way, and then I started dropping it on platforms, introduced myself as D Romeo, and really conducting myself as an artist. And that's when I knew, like, this is for me, this is what I want to do, you know. And based off of the stuff we touch on, man, like, there's a whole lot more about me that people don't know, you know. There's a whole lot more to the life and the feelings and the emotions. So I feel like it never stops with music, you know. You could keep doing it with the music. You can keep expressing certain ways you feel. You can keep talking about certain things and putting it out there for people to relate to, you know.
Tell me 3 artists that had an impact on you.
Artists that had an impact to me. Of course, Tupac, you know, Tupac. When I was coming up, I could think of, yeah, Tupac. It was, you know, it was a lot of like that conscious, like that real rap, bro. Like at the time too, like even J. Cole, there was times he was touching on certain things. At that time, man, like it was just, it's hard to think about the artists in particular. It was like songs that would come, you know, that really I could relate to. But even now, there's an artist that would fit in that category named Joyner Lucas, you know, and like it's just stuff I could relate to, bro. That just appreciating the fact that they can still put real music out there that people could relate to, but also touch on different subjects with the music that's like also a smooth vibe too, you know. But I would say so, you know, if I had to think about impacts and stuff like that, influence, you know.
Paint me a picture of a successful career in music for D Romeo.
Gotta be a big following, man. I'm trying to grow the following. It gotta, without the support system being big enough for me to be like, if I say something, it matters, you know? Like, it gotta be a big following, people standing behind me and getting the respect I feel like I deserve when it comes to this music. So a successful music career for me would be enough for me to be financially stable off of it, you know? Like, I'm demanding that from them. Like, even if it's going and doing big shows, but it's funding me the right way. I'm not trying to go out there and earn my name, but sacrifice out of my pocket, you know? Like, it gotta be established, and just having that comfortable, you know, like, this is what I do, they're finally giving me what I deserve for it, you know? And there's a whole lot of work to put in, and I know there's a lot of independent artists out there who can relate to me, you know? A whole lot of work to put in, and it never stops. But I would say successful for me gotta be just financially stable off of the music, you know? Like, it's making sense now, literally, you know? Making sense, literally.
What does Whittier mean to D Romeo?
Man, Whittier defines, you know, for me, I love it, man. Whittier is beautiful to me, man. And I slide through Whittier and it feels like, you know, you're at home. For me, you're at home, you know, when you walk in the door and you get home and you're comfortable and you feel like this is just, it's your city, you know, like so many memories, rather they're for good or for bad, you know, and like, it's just, Whittier for me it's the landmark, and I take pride in it. I really, you know, when I put on for myself as an artist and grow and we try to reach what we're trying to reach, I really want to put the city on, you know, for all the right reasons. But as you do it, no matter what you do, man, you're gonna get hate, you know, you're gonna get people that don't really follow what you're doing. That comes with anything, you know. All right, y'all, one love. Appreciate everybody for your time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned new things about D Romeo. I'm gonna go enjoy my city. I'm gone.
I gotta give it to him. Look. Pay close attention.
Back when mama had no money, we would struggle just to eat.